Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Today's topic, let me just get this started. Today's topic, right, I would like to talk about comparing the performance of two properties that are side by side. Let's take a look at the performance. And one is a lower PSF and the other at a much higher PSF, okay? Then we move forward from there and we see what is the performance like. The first example that I have for you is in Queenstown, okay? And both of these properties are actually very near to Queenstown MRT. One is Queens, which is the older property, and the newer property, Sterling Residences. Okay, let's take a look at how they perform. The blue line is Sterling, and the orange line here is Queens. Okay, now Sterling actually launched in 2018 at an average of $1,766 per square foot. At the same time, in 2018, Queens is actually transacting at an average of about $1,267 per square foot, a much lower price. All right. So you being a sound buyer will definitely go for the lower PSF, okay, at $1,267 per square foot. Now let's take a look at how they perform over the next 4 years. You will realize that Sterling Residences actually over the next 4 years appreciated 23%, while Sterling, which was at a lower price of $1,267 per square foot only, performed at 8.42%. Okay. Although what you may think that 1,267 PSF is cheap, but the first owner got in even cheaper at $584 PSF. And what happened is that you will notice that it does not mean that today, if you buy in at a higher PSF or a higher price, it will not appreciate further. If you buy in at a cheaper price, it does not mean that it will actually get, it does not mean that it will not get cheaper, okay? In which in this case, in fact, if you look at 8.42%, it is barely keeping up with inflation, okay? Last reported inflation was in Singapore is at 6.3%. So take into consideration all your interest, bank interest, your lawyers fees, and all that. I think 8.42% is barely keeping up with inflation. All right, this is a property that definitely over the next 4 years did not perform as well as a more expensive property in terms of PSF. Let's take a look at the next example. Okay. This is all the way in Woodlea, all right? Two properties. One is Park Colonial, which being the newer property, and 8 at Woodlea, which is the slightly older property, and the price, the per square foot, is also much lower as well. Both are near Woodlea MRT. Let's take a look at their performance. Orange trend line is 8 at Woodlea. Blue trend line being Park Colonial. Okay, so Park Colonial launched in 2018. All right, and an average of $1,782 per square foot, whereas 8 at Woodlea was transacting at only $1,417 per square foot back in 2018. So if you have a choice side by side, which one will you go for at that point in time? $1,782 per square foot or $1,417 per square foot? A lot of buyers will definitely have opted for the $1,417 per square foot. And over the next 3.5 years, let's take a look at the performance. For Park Colonial, it went up appreciated 19%, whereas for 8 at Woodlea only appreciated 8.91%. Okay. let's take a look at another example. This time round, we have a freehold property. Okay. One is a freehold, Starlight Suites. This is actually in the central area, by the way. Okay. And the other is Martin Modern. Okay. In River Valley area. All right. Martin Modern is a slightly newer it's a newer property and it's a 99-year leasehold, whereas Starlight Suites is actually a freehold property. Okay. They are just right next to each other. Let's take a look at their performance. Okay. So for Martin Modern, they actually launched in 2017 at an average of $2,200 per square foot, whereas Starlight Suites was actually transacting at the same point in time at $1,800 per square foot. So I think any buyer at that point in time would have come up with the conclusion that it would be better to buy a freehold property at a cheaper price. Okay, now let's take a look at the performance. Martin Modern, being the more expensive property and being even 99-year leasehold, actually gone up 17.74% in 4.5 years, whereas Starlight Suites only 4.31%. Okay, 4.31 is pretty bad. This is definitely underperforming because it's way behind inflation. All right. So does it mean that if today I have a chance to buy in a property which is freehold at a cheaper price than 99-year leasehold, I've got a winner? We can see definitely in this case that that is not true. Okay. In fact, they were launched at slightly above $2,000 per square foot. Okay. I believe in my previous videos, I did talk about the different type of developers, and I will be making another episode addressing these concerns again in my future videos. So please stay tuned for that. I will definitely go more in depth into that particular topic. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I have for you today. Do stay tuned to my videos. Please help me like and share. And if you found the content useful, do consider subscribing as well. And you can reach out to me anytime for more analysis and more discussion on the different kind of situations that you're in. And hopefully I'll be able to get in touch with you and advise you accordingly. See you soon.